Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT. And tonight we have a big time main event as your new NXT North American Champion, Christian, will be taking on the man that attacked him last week, Jon Moxley, in your main event. But tonight, to kick us off, we are going to see some big time action here live in Greensboro, North Carolina. Talking about big time matches, I am talking about big time matches, and well, this basically all confirms that the pinnacle is MJF, Brian Cage, Big Show, and Chris Jericho. Weeks and weeks, months and months, we've heard from Jericho saying, hey, MJF, Brian Cage, it was just part of a deal. Well, it looks like it's more than a deal for sure. MJF would go on to also say that there's nothing more, than it was just a deal as well. But now it looks like it's all but confirmed. You got Chris Jericho, Big Show, MJF, and Brian Cage, all part of the pinnacle here live on NXT. And that is not a good sign for anybody here live on NXT. And talking about a man that called out next superstar, or I should say this man right here, called out Chris Jericho last week, because this man, Wesley, is your Money in the Bank winner for NXT. So we'll see how Wesley's going to do. He can cash in anytime he wants. He could have cashed in last week, decided not to, which is, very uncharacteristic after what we've seen from WrestleMania all the way up to now, with multiple cash-ins on Raw and Smackdown, with Bianca Belair being the new Raw Women's Champion, Apollo Crews the new Smackdown World Champion, the new WWE Champion. That is the new WWE Champion. So a lot of big things have been going on Raw and SmackDown lately. Superstars are saying, "Oh, hey, we're not gonna cash in right away or whatever," and it seems like it might be more of a game plan of anything because with these cash-ins. So we'll see how Wesley says. He says he has a lot of time to really show us what he's made of, and tonight he's in your main event, or I should say, kicking us off here. It almost is basically going to be a main event match for him as he takes on Chris Jericho here. But the bad thing is here, he has all the members of the Pinnacle, MJF, The Big Show, and Brian Cage here. If Wesley can pull off a massive upset to begin NXT, that'd be pretty good. But, a lot of people are probably going to count him out, which is very unfortunate. But, it's with the status of Chris Jericho going to be a WWE Hall of Famer once he ever does retire and puts his boots away for good. Let's look at Wesley with a nice springboard, taking down Jericho momentarily. It was kind of a shady rope break there, but nonetheless. But ladies and gentlemen, like we mentioned, Christian will be taking on Jon Moxley in the main event. Last week here on NXT, we saw Christian Cage take on CM Punk for the NXT North American Championship, and Christian was able to defeat CM Punk. For me, I don't think CM Punk was fully 100% going into that matchup. From what I've seen, CM Punk will not be here tonight, but he does have a big-time NXT Championship defense coming up at NXT Vengeance Day, as will be MJF, the man that we see in the suit out there. He'll be challenging for that NXT Championship against CM Punk. MJF was able to actually win that in the number one contenders match by defeating the NXT debut of Kenny Omega. It was a really good back and forth matchup, and it was a shame that I hate to see that MJF won. Kenny Omega made his debut, and a lot of people were thinking that maybe to try to send a message to MJF, but ultimately MJF is on a roll of a lifetime, so we'll have to wait and see what it's going to be looking like for MJF's future. Will this young man be able to walk out of Vengeance Day with that NXT Championship? Also later on tonight, we have a triple threat number one contenders matchup for the NXT Women's Championship. Wait a minute, Wesley going for that drop kick, but Chris Jericho, the veteran that he is, able to move right out of it. But you'll see Makito Satomura taking on. Hold on a minute. Like I was trying to say, Mikito Satomura takes on Mandy Rose and Blair Davenport in a triple threat matchup. As now Chris Jericho gonna flip him over. This is not good. This is not good for Wesley. Wesley wants to prove to the world that he belongs on this stage. Chris Jericho has him in trouble. Can he flip him over? Oh, pinfall. Pinfall. Can he steal it? Will he steal it? No. Not even a 2 count. Oh, there's that spinning elbow out of nowhere. That very well could be it. And it is. Chris Jericho takes down the Money in the Bank winner, Wesley. And you know, Wesley's got a lot of time to prove himself. Yes, he came up short tonight, but you know, this man can literally cash in any time he wants. And I think calling out Chris Jericho, one of the best to ever do it, you know, it's a tough task. But right now, Chris Jericho, one of the best that NXT has to offer, and he sends a message to Wesley tonight to kick us off here live on NXT. As there's MJF kind of taunting Wesley that he's knocked out right now. He is your Money in the Bank winner. But now for MJF, it looks like he's going to try to MJF is going to try to make an example out of Wesley here. Table was set up by one of the other members. I believe it was Brian Cage that we didn't see before. But look at this, man. This is just absolutely horrendous. Wesley going to be taken advantage of by MJF. Oh my God. Man, this is something that you'd hate to see. This man continues to grow momentum by momentum every single week, and is not gonna stop until somebody, and I mean somebody, does something about it. Oh no, not a pile. No, oh my God. A pile driver right there to Wesley, and just like that, MJF sends a message to not just his challenger for the NXT Championship there, but CM Punk is definitely a man that will be in trouble if he continues to have any more momentum heading in to NXT Vengeance Day pay-per-view. As now MJF, the hell's he doing? This is where Wesley needed his partner. Obviously, MSK was a tag team briefly here in the series before it ultimately going somewhere else, but MJF taking him backstage, it looks like. We are now going to be shifting our gears to the Triple Threat Women's #1 Contenders matchup. We will try to get some cameras backstage there as soon as we can, but looks like MJF just taking Wesley backstage there. I don't know what his intentions are. Obviously, like I've mentioned before, we know MJF, the #1 contender to CM Punk's NXT Championship, and at NXT Vengeance Day, at NXT Takeover Vengeance Day, ladies and gentlemen, we will see MJF challenge for CM Punk's NXT Championship. But it seems like MJF is not waiting anytime soon to get some action in and send a message to this whole locker room that this NXT roster, this NXT brand in general, is his. And no one, and he does mean no one, will be taking over this brand. Ever since MJF has debuted, he has made his intentions very, very clear. And it looks like he's definitely going to stand by that. As here comes Blair Davenport. We just saw Makito Satomura make her way down to the ring. And we wait for Mandy Rose, the next competitor in this matchup. But this is going to be a hard-hitting triple threat #1 contenders matchup. And I think with these matches tonight, you're going to get a little taste of the future of NXT for sure. A lot of NXT UK and NXT branded individuals in this matchup. And for just NXT UK in general, man, they have one of the best rosters you could ever ask for. Honestly, the tag team stacked, the women's division was stacked as well. So I think with the NXT UK merger as well, I think there's plenty of potential when it comes to that. Blair Davenport being one of the bright spots, a part of that, as well as Makito Satomura. Both these women were in a hard-hitting triple threat matchup recently. It was Blair Davenport, Makito Satomura, and another woman, I believe it was Ginny, if I remember correctly, hard-hitting triple threat matchup. But nonetheless, it was a hard-hitting matchup, and I believe Makito Satomura ended up winning that matchup. But with all these women, especially now, you're going to see Mandy Rose make her way down to the ring, a former NXT Women's Champion. These NXT UK women are going to get a chance to face a former Women's Champion. And we'll see how that fares. Because a couple weeks ago, Mandy Rose, she was in action where she took on the NXT return of Toni Storm. Mandy Rose looked really good, able to knock off Toni Storm. Last week here, we got to see Blair Davenport in action. She was able to defeat Emma, your NXT Women's Champion. So tonight we will figure out who will be next in line. Will Mandy Rose be able to get herself a rematch for the NXT Women's Championship? Or will it be those two other women in the right-hand side of your screen? Big time opportunity for all three of these women. You've got a woman like Mandy Rose, who has been here for a very long time, knows the ins and outs of WWE, Raw, Smackdown, and now even NXT. And then you got Makito Satomura and Blair Davenport still trying to necessarily figure themselves out. So we'll see if experience is going to be coming to a head tonight in this big time triple threat match. As now here we go. As now here comes all three of these women looking to put it all on the line here. Oh, look at Mandy Rose absolutely taunting the heck out of Makito Satomura. She's not going to let that happen. And now Blair Davenport trying to get the crowd behind her, but that's not going to work as well. Makito wants to beat the living crap out of somebody, and she finally gets her hands on somebody. And now Makito, here she comes. She's going to take it to Mandy Rose. Like I mentioned, I think Mandy Rose has the most experience. I mean, in the terms of what the main roster feels like and everything, we know Makito Satomura, she has been around professional wrestling for a very, very long time. Like we mentioned before in the series, she's a part of WCW back in the day, so she definitely knows how to get the job done. And, you know, when you have so many miles and you've fought with so many different superstars over the years, you kind of know what to expect. As now Mandy Rose going to work here, going to town on Blair Davenport. And for Mandy Rose, this could be a pivotal part in this matchup because she has Blair Davenport in the middle of that ring. And I was going to say now, of course, Makito Satomura coming back in the ring. But I was going to say, since Makito was outside the ring, this would be a perfect opportunity to maybe try and put away Blair. But obviously that was not the case. Ladies and gentlemen, your NXT Tag Team Champions, the Grizzled Young Veterans, will be in action later on tonight. We'll see how they fare against the Creed brothers, Julius and... the Creed brothers. Pardon me. Sorry. There's a... I'm being tossed some notes right now. MJF is taking Wesley backstage here, so... we're having to deal with the constant updates like that. But I was trying to say Brutus and Julius of the Creed brothers, they will be in action taking on the tag team champions. As now here goes Mandy Rose. Let's see if she can get some offense in here. Ooh, that was a clubbing blow, but I don't think we're getting a striking battle with Makito Satomura or even Blair Davenport, if I'm honest with you. Oh my goodness! What a swinging... I don't know if you would call it a swinging knee strike or whatever, but that was very devastating. And Mandy Rose having to roll out the ring. She may have broken a nose, broke a couple of teeth or something, because that was a hard-hitting move for sure. As Makito Satomura, with that swinging neck breaker, takes down Blair Davenport. Now Blair is in trouble. Can she somehow get back into this matchup? You start feeling this momentum from Makito Satomura in the corner right now. Two hard-hitting NXT UK women joined NXT, and for maybe for the better, but every time you see these two women in a match together, you're going to see a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of bruises, and especially definitely blood, because these women are going to put it all on the line. Oh wait, as soon as I say that, Mandy Rose out of nowhere. Will that be enough to steal a victory live on NXT? No, 2.5. So close. Mandy Rose was hoping that was going to be enough. The jumping knee strike from Mandy Rose. Is this going to be it for her to steal it? 2, 3 it is. And just like that, Mandy Rose gets her rematch for the NXT Women's Championship live at NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. Vengeance Day weekend with Vengeance Day pay-per-view alongside with Smackdown. Mandy Rose, the leader of Toxic Attraction, showing why a lot of people are still pretty high on Mandy Rose here live on NXT, and she continues to prove it with a win here tonight. And now here's MJF bringing Wesley backstage. We've have a massive arena here in Greensboro, but for MJF to try to just destroy Wesley like he is right now, this is just undespicable. Absolutely despicable, I mean. Oh my goodness. One of our trolleys right here. But again, this is just something uncalled for. MJF, like he said, he calls himself the pinnacle of professional wrestling. And right now, you are seeing a man that not too many respect, and I don't blame him. Oh my God. That looked like that hurt for sure. As now Wesley could be in trouble. Right through the table. We've seen that recently there on NXT when Walter did that to Kevin Owens, and now MJF putting the finishing touches to Wesley backstage. And just like that, MJF with a massive takeout of Wesley. When I call myself the pinnacle of professional wrestling, I mean it. And I showed you guys tonight by laying waste to Wesley, a man that he calls himself the future of NXT. No, the hell he is not. You are looking at him, the future, right here, right now. CM Punk, I know you're not here this week, but I'm pretty sure you'll be here next week, or maybe you'll just never show up again. But at NXT Takeover Vengeance Day, my vengeance will be beating the living shit out of you until you bleed out. And I become the new NXT champion, like I've told you from the start I will be. Next week here live on NXT, I plan on sending a message to you, Punk, and that's going to be me being in action, taking on Wesley and doing the exact same thing that Mr. Jericho did tonight to Mr. Wesley, and that is knocking him the hell out live in the middle of that ring. And oh, by the way, you stupid ass fans back at home, you really thought me and Brian Cage would not come here alone? You guys really thought it was just me and Brian Cage? You guys are absolutely stupid. Of course, Jericho and the Big Show, we have a whole big planned thing here for NXT. So if you really believed us, you're as stupid as all you guys look here in North Carolina. The WWE Universe on their feet. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with some tag team action. And like we're going to try to move on here, unfortunately, with what we saw MJF finishing what he started by taking out Wesley, and said that at NXT Takeover Vengeance Day that he will be planning on making CM Punk bleed. We'll see how that's going to fare, but a message was clearly sent tonight to CM Punk. I'm assuming CM Punk will be back next week here live on NXT. Bret Hart giving him the night off to kind of recover after the last couple weeks. Definitely he's gone through a lot, but we'll focus right now on the NXT Tag Team division as your grizzled young veterans make their way down to the ring retaining those NXT Tag Team Championships against Legado del Fantasma at NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. That tag team match was phenomenal. And now we have to just wait and see what the Grizzled Young Veterans will have in store in the near future, with the Tag Team Championships going to be on the line at NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. Vengeance Day will just be next month, ladies and gentlemen, the same weekend as Vengeance Day, the Smackdown exclusive pay-per-view. Be a perfect time for these two gentlemen to show what they are worth as your NXT Tag Team Champions, and taking up a young and up-and-coming tag team known as the Creed Brothers. As a referee in a bad spot, he's about to be taken out by the Creed Brothers and the Grizzled Young Veterans. As nice takeout there from Julius, taking out Mr. Zach Gibson here at ringside. As wait a minute! Oh my goodness! Glancing blow to Julius, but Mr. Oh my goodness, he dropped on his neck there. Zach Gibson taken out, James Drake taken out, all by one. Creed Brothers, oh my goodness, what a back breaker. Oh my goodness. Might as well just make this a handicap match with how good the Creed Brothers are looking so far early on. And that's what he's feeling right now. Absolutely phenomenal. But just like that, James Drake looking to change that up, spiking him on his head. And, might as well try to change the trajectory of this matchup. Why not? NXT TakeOver is over a month. A lot of teams and a lot of superstars are jockeying for position, trying to get themselves opportunities in the near future for potential championship opportunities. Creed Brothers have actually picked up a big win over the Revival recently, so we'll see if maybe the Creed Brothers will be able to continue to maybe pick up some wins here in the near future. Slowly but surely, that's all you got to do. As now, Brutus with a brutal suplex there, and he's absolutely feeling himself live here on the NXT roster. As this is going to be your co-main event of the evening, we still have a big-time main event matchup, Jon Moxley versus Christian. But just before we even get there, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a championship celebration. Tyler Bate will be making his way down to the ring. We'll be celebrating his championship win live here and right in front of you guys. That's nice enziguri, turning him inside out. James Drake looking phenomenal right now. We can go ahead and tag one half of the tag team champions, Zach Gibson, making his way into the ring. Let's all look at the power and strength, making that look absolutely easy. And I think, if the Grizzled Young Veterans can keep on doing what they did, especially with what they did at WrestleMania weekend, I should say, NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, I think the Grizzled Young Veterans could hold on to those NXT Tag Team Championships for a very long time. But there is a lot of good tag teams, a lot of underrated tag teams, a lot of phenomenal tag teams, a little mixture of everything. And that's what you gotta love. A lot of unproven tag teams, and then also tag teams that have been on the main roster and know exactly what to do in big-time scenarios. Look at Gibson coming right after Brutus. Big old suplex there. And Gibson doesn't care who's in the middle of that ring. He'll take out either superstar he has to. And now here comes Mr. James Drake into the ring. We'll see what he can do against Julius here. That was, awkward landing. Down he goes, and Julius not going to hold back here. He's coming right after one half of the tag team champions. That's oh my goodness. And talking about the tag team division, we were supposed to actually see a big-time six-man tag team matchup recently on NXT a couple weeks ago. The first episode back from NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Supposed to be the Revival and CM Punk taking on Kenny Omega in a tag team or superstars of his choosing. And we didn't get to see that because MJF ruined that. But, hopefully we'll be able to see whoever that potential tag team was supposed to be. As here we go with that sharpshooter from Julius, but just like that, Mr. Gibson breaking it up. Uh-oh, pinfall opportunity. Will this be enough here? Can the Creed brothers steal victory? Yes, they do. The Creed brothers with a non-title championship win tonight. That's all you can ask for in these type of matches, ladies and gentlemen. Big time opportunity, big time win. And oh, look at this. Look at this, the Creed brothers. They aren't playing around. They are sending a message to the NXT Tag Team Champions. This is what the Tag Team Champions would normally be doing to their other competitors, but the Creed brothers are not going to let the Grizzled Young Veterans run over this Tag Team division and send a message to the nasty NXT Tag Team Champions, the Grizzled Young Veterans. Here comes your new NXT United Kingdom Champion, and that is Tyler Bate. This young man was a part of Mustache Mountain here in Universe Mode. Recently, we've come to find out Trent Seven will no longer be here in WWE. Trent Seven didn't decide to resign, but tonight, Tyler Bate, well, I should say last week, he accepted the open challenge by Braun Breaker and looked very phenomenal in the middle of that ring with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker was planning on sending a message to whoever who decided to accept that open challenge. Well, Tyler Bate accepted that, and, well, you guys can see the result. Tyler Bate is your new United Kingdom champion for NXT. But the question is, what is on the mind of Tyler Bate? What does the future look like for this United Kingdom champion? This man is the future of NXT for sure. He's got the look and everything, but he's got to go through a lot of superstars if he plans on doing that. But he is the head of the United Kingdom division, and let's see what's on Tyler Bate's mind right now. Man, I do not know what to say, man. This is just a phenomenal opportunity to bring my talents back down to NXT, to one of the best GMs that you could honestly ever ask for, that being Bret the Hitman Hart. No offense to Triple H, but I think Bret is doing a phenomenal job here in NXT so far. I was honestly surprised Raw or Smackdown didn't want to pick me up. I'm still a phenomenal athlete. I'm still in my early 20s. I've shown my best of the best here in NXT. Showed it on Smackdown there briefly with myself and Trent Seven. Trent Seven decided to no longer be signed here to WWE, and that kind of left me in a predicament. Bret Hart called me the week before that NXT Open challenge that we saw from Braun Breaker, and he said, "Hey kid, I like what you do. I see that you're surprisingly still a free agent. How would you feel if we brought you down to NXT and we gave you a big opportunity to showcase yourself to the world? You have a tremendous talent inside that ring, and we want you to showcase it." Then a week later would be the NXT United Kingdom Championship Open Challenge. And I saw what Braun Breaker would say the week before, once again saying that he would spear the Open Challenger in half. And I thought, you know what, I'll take that up to a challenge. So I took it, and I took that NXT United Kingdom Championship away from Braun Breaker. I have all the respect in the world for Braun Breaker, one of the best that NXT has to offer. A homegrown talent for sure is Braun Breaker, but you know what? I'm not just out here to talk about Braun Breaker. I am out here to thank you, the NXT universe. You're the reason that I still am wrestling. You are what drives me to compete to the very best level, and I have to thank you for that. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness, Braun Breaker. What in the hell is he doing? He's the former NXT champion, former NXT United Kingdom champion, and he's laying waste to the new champion. Never thought I would see the day Braun Breaker would act like this. This man has all these respect in the world from his colleagues and everything, and something has snapped in Braun Breaker. This is not something I was expecting to see tonight. That's, oh my goodness, right on the shoulder blade. Oh, now he's just flexing on Tyler Bate as well. Come on. What is that all about? Look at this. The crowd is in shock and awe right now. And again, Braun Breaker has him up. And look at that again. Braun Breaker laying waste to the NXT United Kingdom Champion. Oh no, not the title, not the title! Braun Breaker laying waste to a man that doesn't deserve this. Oh my God. Braun Breaker laying waste to your United Kingdom champion. And it seems like Braun Breaker is not done going after that championship. As, oh no, Tyler Bate trying to get up to his feet. This is not good. Oh my God. Tyler Bate just should have stayed down. He should have stayed down. And now he is going to be ruling the day that he decided to join back here on the NXT roster. I guarantee this was not what he was expecting when he decided to come back, winning that NXT United Kingdom Championship, and then now going to be put through a table. Pardon me. No. Come on, Braun. No. Oh my God. Sit out powerbomb there from Braun Breaker. And just like that, Tyler Bate, welcome back to the United Kingdom division. It is main event time here, live in Greensboro, North Carolina. Blackpool Combat Club making their way down to the ring. Got Jon Moxley with Bryan Danielson and Wardlow. Last week we saw CM Punk defend his NXT North American Championship that he won from Karrion Kross in a double championship match, winner take all at NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. Christian, the first week after NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver, would win a 6-man battle royal where Jon Moxley had the battle royal won, went to eliminate Christian, and Christian would randomly reverse Jon Moxley at the very last second, and that's when Christian would go on to defeat CM Punk the next week in the North American Championship. And Jon Moxley, it seems like he wasn't too happy about that, and now you get to see the new NXT North American Champion in action, and he's bound to not be happy. We were actually able to talk to Christian last week, and he said he's in Jon Moxley's head. Any other time, Moxley and these Blackpool Combat Club guys wouldn't do it, but he said, you know what? This Blackpool Combat Club, these guys lack leadership since William Regal left to become the Smackdown general manager. So tonight he plans on sending the Blackpool Combat Club away permanently. We'll see how that fares. But this is going to be a big-time match between Christian and Jon Moxley. That North American Championship does look pretty good around Christian's waist. But this is your main event, Christian versus Jon Moxley, ladies and gentlemen, your main event of the evening. My question is, will we see this match again down the line? And last week we saw even Bryan Danielson take out Rusev with a kendo stick. So there's a lot of bad blood between both of these groups. And it seems like Blackpool Combat Club has everybody going after them, that being the pinnacle of professional wrestling. MJF's group was Chris Jericho, Brian Cage, and The Big Show. And now you got Christian and Rusev as well. So, I mean, it seems like the Blackpool Combat Club are basically on their back feet. They're on their heels, essentially. They're trying to fight off anyone and trying to send a message. I mean, to Moxley's, I'm not going to try to defend what Jon Moxley did to an extent, but, he feels frustrated. He feels like that was his NXT North American Championship opportunity that was taken away by Christian, who rightfully he reversed. He eliminated Jon Moxley over the top rope. Christian didn't do anything wrong, but Moxley just felt like he was screwed. He wanted his opportunity, so he picked the right time and attacked Christian to send him a message. He wants an opportunity at that NXT North American Championship. He's going to have to defeat Christian tonight to maybe get that opportunity down the line. As he just throws Christian halfway across the ring, and now Jon Moxley going to show that ground and pound game here. Man, look at these clubbing blows. And devastating maneuvers, and oh, look at Moxley flipping off Christian. Moxley believes he should have been the NXT North American Champion. But like I keep mentioning, Christian won it fair and square. It was not like a controversy where both men would, fall down at the same time type of situation. Moxley just has to be careful next time. Don't try to eliminate him like that. Try to eliminate him by like fully grabbing your opponent, then throwing him. But, you live and learn from your mistakes. As Christian's head bouncing off that top of that barricade. That is not going to be feeling good. As a nice neck breaker there from Moxley. I can't tell if that's it looks like Wardlow right there, just to keep an eye, make sure Rusev doesn't try to get involved here. We're at a 7 right now. Both of these men need to get back in the ring. Referee at 8, 9. Does Moxley break it up? Uh-oh. Moxley go for the 10, and he's going to get a count-out victory here live in your main event of the evening. You do hate to see it, but that is your main event tonight. Seems like Moxley was going to try to go for a break it up by going off the top rope, but unfortunately, that is not how it's going to end tonight. We are not going to send this grateful crowd here in Greensboro, North Carolina with a count-out main event. So right now, we are going to restart the matchup. But just in case you guys want us to up the ante, this match now is going from a singles match to a tag team match. Blackpool Combat Club's Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley will be taking on Christian, your NXT North American Champion, and Rusev. So let's restart the matchup. Well, you guys heard Bret the Hitman Hart. Referee just rang the bell. We have the match restarted. And instead of it being a singles matchup, we are turning it into a tag team matchup. Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson teaming up to take on Rusev and the new NXT North American Champion Christian. We'll see how he fares tonight against Moxley. And Danielson. Oh, nice neck breaker. And for Moxley, I mean, yeah, he wins up by count out, which you hate to see in the terms of how everyone wants to go home in the main event. You always want to see a good time results, see your favorite superstar win the matchup, but, realistically, you don't always get to see that. And luckily, we have a good general manager in Bret the Hitman Hart saying, oh, hey, we're not going to let these fans who worked very hard, this blue-collar town and state of North Carolina, in Greensboro, North Carolina, go home with a count-out victory. We're going to send them out either very happy or, we'll see how the result goes. So, and this matchup he failed to announce as well. This is a no count-out matchup as well, so these guys can actually fight longer outside if they do happen to go that way. All the normal rules stay in this matchup besides it being a no count-out contest now. And look at Bryan Danielson going to work on Rusev here. And we know that Bryan Danielson is a submission magician in the middle of that ring. So when you see a man like Bryan Danielson, you got to be very, very careful. Former world champion here in Universe Mode. Definitely knows what he does. That's Rusev trying to go to work. Big elbows in the midsection there from Rusev. Big kick. Rusev beating the crap out of Bryan Danielson here. Big clubbing blows from both men. Absolute brutal strikers in the middle of that ring. So working on that left arm and now into a back suplex. That's going to be hurting for certain. As now Rusev going to get the hot tag. Here we go. Christian and Jon Moxley, the match that we saw moments ago, turning it now into a tag team matchup. All due to the thanks of Bret the Hitman Hart, the new NXT General Manager. It's a nice neck breaker there from Jon Moxley early on here. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have some matches in store for you guys next week. Wesley will be taking on MJF, the new #1 contender. We know Wesley got his ass beat tonight by MJF. Hopefully he'll be 100% heading into that matchup against MJF. As well as we're going to see a big time matchup between Emma, and she'll be in action. She'll be, as far as we know, she'll be in action. I'm not being told unfortunately, who her opponent's going to be, but looks like Emma will be in action. So you got Wesley taking on MJF. You're going to see Emma in action, your NXT Women's Champion. We know Mandy Rose is the new #1 contender, former NXT Women's Champion in her own right. She lost at NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. And also next week here live on NXT, CM Punk makes his return ever since losing last week in that North American Championship matchup. We'll see how that's going to fare, but also you'll see the two men that are in your ring right now, Rusev and Bryan Danielson, go one-on-one in the middle of that ring. As here we go, pinfall opportunity. Will this be enough? No. Still too early in this matchup to decide what's going to be going down. Uh-oh. Going to go for that heel hook maybe. Yep, the heel hook. The submission here on Rusev. Will Rusev have to tap out? The pain is excruciating right now. He might have to tap. That left knee, that left ankle, everything right there is just a terrible, terrible spot right now. And now Moxley going to go to town, try to finish up Rusev here. Look at these big clubbing blows. Moxley busting Rusev right open there. That is not going to be feeling too good right there. Uh-oh. High risk here. Flying Moxley, but Moxley missing out. And we'll see if Rusev can capitalize. Super kick to Moxley. That could be all she wrote. Rusev trying to make sure that he cannot grab that bottom rope. Pinfall. 2. No, 2.5. Look at that blood flowing down the face. Thankfully for Rusev doing the right thing, rolling out of the ring, or at least getting a tag, and getting Christian, who's not so far busted open. Here we go, pinfall opportunity. Will this be enough? No, kicking out at 1. Strong kick out. And now look at Moxley, the strength and power to take down the NXT North American Champion. Can Moxley pick up 2 wins tonight live here? And now here comes Bryan Danielson. Going to look to take it to Christian. Obviously both Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson definitely want to get a title opportunity. Definitely not just a world title, but, you know, take that championship away from Christian. Now Rusev, the Redeemer, looking to put away Bryan Danielson. Oh, nice running elbow strike right to the cut there. But look at Rusev. He's not a man that you can just easily put away. Kick to the midsection. Here comes the Redeemer. Look at this. Release suplex. Takes down Jon Moxley. Moxley's in trouble. Rusev tasting his own blood here. That's crazy how that blood just keeps pouring out of the nose. Here we go with the tag. Uh-oh. Oh, we're going to have ourselves a flying Captain Charisma shoulder tackle. Down goes Moxley. Perfect opportunity for Christian. We'll see how much is left in the tank for both men. Uh-oh. Oh, look at this. Oh, my goodness. Nice DDT there from Captain Charisma. Isn't it? Yes, it is. Christian and Rusev with a massive win tonight. Supposed to be a one-on-one contest. Due to a countout, Moxley wins. Bret Hart didn't want it to end that way, so we ultimately see it turn into a tag team match where Christian, your NXT North American Champion, and Rusev pick up a massive win. What a back-and-forth brutal matchup. Let's watch the end of this matchup. This DDT, the back of the neck, right there, and that blood flowing through the nostrils right there, through the center of Rusev's face. Big win for Christian and Rusev. What is on slate next week live on NXT?